Looking to retire early, maybe late 50s, 58? Can you do so? Can you retire in your late 50s with just $1 million? You can. With careful planning, I'll show you how. That and more coming up. My name's Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Can you retire at 58 with just $1 million saved up? And just $1 million. Yes, I get that. That's 7 figures, but 58 is early. That's an early retirement. You're not eligible for Social Security. You're not eligible for Medicare. That you've had a shorter career and less time to save up. So can you retire at 58 with $1 million? Yes, you can. You can. And I'm going to share with you 3 different scenarios, real life scenarios that we've done to help people in that same situation retire comfortably to the retirement that they want. However, I will tell you that it's not easy and it can't be done without careful planning. And every video, the entire Wise Money Show channel is about helping you know that there are 6 areas to your financial life. And in order to make great financial decisions, you've got to operate at the intersection of those 6 areas. If you've got the skill and the knowledge and the time and so on. And so most people say, I don't have all the skill and the awareness and the experience and all that sort of stuff. So I need a co-pilot, I need a Sherpa, I need a guide, and that's your certified financial planner that's doing comprehensive financial planning. If they're just helping you with investments, they can't help you retire at 58 with $1 million. They might tell you a couple things or say, yeah, you can or whatnot, but if they're not doing planning, they're not going to help you and help you make the biggest financial decision of your life. They could potentially give you bad advice. You can retire 58 with $1 million with careful planning, right? With proactive tax planning. You won't be able to do it if Uncle Sam is reaching their hand in and eroding your dollars. If you've got the right coordination of professionals working with a health insurance advisor to solve that for you as well. And certainly you won't be able to do it without proactively looking and building out that 5-factor retirement plan, confirming that all 5 factors, when age do you want to be done, 58, what's your lifestyle, how much are you going to be spending in retirement, what are your income sources, what are you going to do with Social Security, how much do you have saved up, the $1 million, and how much investment risk are you comfortable taking. Building out that 5-factor retirement plan, you won't be able to do it without those things. So work with your CFP, you can do it, and I'm going to show you 3 different scenarios, real life scenarios, that we've used in this exact situation to help people retire. We'll go easiest to hardest, and so this is very common. Someone that's wanting to retire at 58 has $1 million saved up. Very common for someone or a couple that have worked a long career in the same job or industry and have a pension. And if that's the case, that pension is typically based on 3 different factors. 1 is a multiple, 2 is your kind of average compensation, but 3 is your years of service. And so it's fairly common for someone to start as a teacher, start as a firefighter, start in a utility company, maybe in their mid to late 20s, and cap out on their pension and be eligible for their pension after 30 years of service or 35 years of service, which gets you about to your mid 50s, mid to late 50s. And in addition to having that pension that's accruing for them throughout their career, they're also saving up as well. Maybe not the 15 to 20% that you might be saving up, but they might be saving up 8 to 10% and getting a match as well. And therefore, they arrive at 58, they've saved up about $1 million. They've also got this pension that they can turn on as well. So how does that plan work? Again, build out that 5-factor retirement plan, but you would turn on your pension and then you would work with your CFP and you'd come up with a sustainable withdrawal rate. Not only that's sustainable for your nest egg so it doesn't get depleted too quickly, but sustainable for you to live the lifestyle that you want. You then from there, once you've got that built out, you then look and see, well, what sort of tax impact will I have? And does this all fit when we look at paying income taxes, both federal and state? And then also, what does it look like for health insurance? What are my options? If you've got a pension covered job or you've had a pension covered job, maybe they have some retiree health insurance. A lot of them are getting rid of that. So then Do you go with healthcare.gov? What's that going to cost based on those income levels? But that's that planning that can work in that sort of the typical situation, someone showing up in their mid to late 50s with $1 million looking to say, hey, how can I retire? The second and third scenarios are more challenging, and they're similar, but they really depend on, well, what's your lifestyle? How would you define a successful retirement? So scenario number 2 is for the individual who's likely debt-free, been very careful with their spending, and I would say frugal, although I've seen a lot of people use that same term for very different lifestyles, but someone that's very comfortable and content, not really spending a lot. And in that scenario, you look at the $1 million that they've built up, and you've got to be doing proactive tax planning to see, well, every dollar you take out, is it going to be taxable, and so on. But you look and find a sustainable withdrawal rate, say 4% or so. Okay, that's the 4% rule, but that's not what you would base all your decisions on. You'd actually build out that 5-factor retirement plan. But say it's 4% as a sustainable withdrawal rule, then on that $1 million, you're able to withdraw about 40 grand a year. At 40 grand, if that's your only source of income, likely you'd be paying low or no taxes at the federal level, likely at the state level as well. And if that's your only income, that $40,000, likely you'd also be paying very low or no premium, monthly premium for your health insurance as well. So really in that scenario, you've got your nest egg intact, you've got to manage it appropriately for the right level of risk, drawing out your 4%, which hopefully is a sustainable number for you, or coming up with that sustainable number. And then, because there really wouldn't be much taxes or much cost for your health insurance, can you live on that $3,500 or so a month? If you're debt-free, if you live very frugal and fairly content, not a lot of travel and so on, then that plan can work. But then scenario 3, if that's not your vision of retirement, if you say, actually, no, I'm retiring young because I want to do things, and yes, I'm debt-free, or I am careful with my spending, but I'm gonna spend more than $3 grand a month, $3 to $4 grand a month. Maybe spending $5 to $6 grand a month if you're in the Midwest or something like that. So similar scenario, age 58, have $1 million saved up, but I actually would want to spend a little bit more than that. Is there a plan that can work there? Yes. You take that $1 million and you divide it up into 2 chunks. The first chunk is the amount that you're going to spend through. And people don't like that. It's hard. You've been saving up, and the last thing you want to do is to see that balance go down. But that's where I say split it in 2 chunks, because there's one chunk that you have to eat. That's the one that you spend down and spend through from retirement, age 58, until it makes sense for you to turn on Social Security. Could be 62, could be later, depends on your situation. But let's say you take, of your $1 million, you take $300,000. And I'm just spitballing there, but you take $300,000 and you actually spend that through and divide that by 4, and you spend that amount over the next 4 years until you're eligible for Social Security. Then you show up at Social Security at 62, let's say. You've got $700,000 in your other, now you have $700,000. That's kind of the chunk number 2. You've spent through that first chunk, that $300,000. Your million's down to $700. Hopefully it's grown a little bit, earned some interest, or grown with the markets over the past 4 years or so. But let's keep it simple. Let's assume that it doesn't. You turn on Social Security, and then you turn on a sustainable withdrawal rate out of that $700. Because your Social Security, especially if you're married, that could be $3 to $4 grand a month between you and your spouse, even if you're drawing early. And if you draw again, another $2,500 a month or $3 grand a month out of that $700,000, should be sustainable, give you higher income, and that would allow you to retire with that $1 million saved up at 58, but spending through a chunk of it, and then a sustainable withdrawal rate connected to your Social Security. Those are just 3 of the creative ways that, you could retire in your late 50s with that $1 million saved up. Requires careful planning, comprehensive planning, working with your certified financial planner. So work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, contact one of my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.